Hello everybody, welcome back to Path of Exile. If you're still with me, thank you very much for joining me, and we are about to go into the coast. So this is kind of our first area that isn't a part of the actual tutorial. We're still going to be learning a lot of stuff. As you guys can see, we need to travel to the Tidal Island, and we need to find a medicine case. Now's a good time to point out that if you press tab, you can in fact move the map to where your character is, and I like this. You can also use the arrow keys to move it around. I don't like doing that very much. I like having the spot where I am. As you can see, I can move around and it shows me where I am on the map. Kind of handy. We also have now our raise zombie ability, so we're going to be using that in a second. We have the seed thing just here. I'm going to cover this, or at least the basics, in the next episode. So I'm probably going to end up running this area twice for this thing here, just here. So we're going to talk. I'm talking to her, all that kind of stuff. I'll do all that later. But effectively, just want to pick those seeds up, and we'll talk about planting them and the things that we need to do with them shortly. So being as we're a summoner, we want to kill a few enemies like this. Just a few, any few will do. And then we're gonna raise our skeletons with the relevant button. Not in my favourite place right now. Let's make sure we're using some of this. Obviously, they're quite expensive mana-wise. Let's just be aware of that. Still nothing good for me yet. Now, of course, moving around right now is kind of slow. As you can see, we don't have any bonuses to our speed. This is something that will improve as we go on. What you see I'm doing right now is I'm moving along whilst I'm attacking. I feel like this is a good way to make sure you're progressing through a map at a decent pace, and also attacking enemies whilst you're doing it. Something else to do as well as we're going through is I can use my potions, as you can see, at will, and they'll obviously I'm using it to recover my mana. You'll see it goes down. The cool thing is, as you attack enemies, that will actually increase. Note that unless you have some kind of passive or ability that makes them recharge over time, that will only recharge during combat, so you can't really wait for them to happen. They do instantly refill if you go back to a settlement or something though, so if you find you're really struggling, you just need your potions back up. Feel free to head back to Finance Watch. So what you should be noticing here is, in terms of what I'm doing and the way I'm going, just to make sure I get these scrolls, don't I? Because I haven't got the ones from my usual character. Is we're actually sticking to the southern side. Look, we're following the beach. I heavily recommend you guys go ahead and explore the whole thing. And things like these books and stuff, they give you some cool dialogue. They're really, really enjoyable to read, to have playing in the background as you're progressing, in my opinion. So just make sure that you do in fact tag that, should I say, and listen to what it has to say. It's always really cool. So this is a waypoint. Obviously this should look familiar because there was actually one in Lionel's Watch. We can now freely travel between these, so let's take a look at that. It's going to save us some portal scrolls if we need to, and also means that we can get straight back out to where we were fairly instantly. I feel like now is also a good time for us to point out that you can actually purchase a few things from here. Oh, I might actually take a chain belt. Let's stick that on because it's better than nothing. And you can also get any of the other skills that were available from the NPCs earlier. So if you feel like you're not enjoying Ray Zombie, come back and you can get one of these instead.
While we live, we are blessed.
So in an effort to not slow you guys down, not use this passive point just yet, we're going to head out to the Tidal Island. So this always seems to be like this way on this tile. So we have mudflats just there, and we have the Tidal Island just to the south, which is where we want to go. So it's around here. Again, in fact I might actually use this point because I'm going to want the extra minion capability. So we're going to go through here. This guy is ice-bound, so if you picked ice, unfortunately your first boss is going to be a bit resistant to you. It's kind of funny that I'm quite under-equipped right now. But hopefully it demonstrates just that you don't need to be massively well-equipped right at the beginning of the game. We've got a rustic sash, that's got extra life on it. We're good with energy shield now. My mentor, let's call him, always recommends not to do energy shield because apparently it's actually quite difficult to pull off, but I just really enjoy it. So if you guys are suffering because you're going heavy energy shield because of me, I apologise. Change just instead of where I take energy shield, take life. That'll work because I'm going to be getting a lot of a lot of life regen anyway to regen my energy shield because of the way I'm kind of building up the character. So if you decide you don't like energy shield, essentially if you just switch the nodes that I'm using energy shield with to life, then you shouldn't have too much of a problem. Oh hello, you got close, didn't you? Right. Get some more zombies up. See these guys, icy. Ouch. It's just nice, as you can see, having these just kind of wailing in on him. Eventually they're going to do some pretty significant damage as well, so that's pretty good. So we're just going to complete the ring here, just so that I can get some extra XP out of it. I'll get an extra level, that'd be nice. So it's worth mentioning blue enemies. Blue enemies are slightly higher level, and so therefore give extra XP. So I recommend, even if you're trying to rush through an area, if you come across blue enemies, those are the ones that you want to kill. It's just, I'm just not getting it. But I made the rule for myself, just to make sure that we're keeping this way. Cool. So we're going to come out of here. We should actually get a quicksilver flask. And I'm going to tell you guys about a recipe, although I'm not going to actually be able to perform said recipe just because we don't have one of the items yet. But I'm going to tell you guys it exists just in case you get one. So, we're going to go ahead and talk to Nessa, who's going to give us a selection of potions. Now, I recommend getting this one. Quicksilver potion, and we're going to put that in, and that allows us to move faster. So we're going to switch it like this. We're just going to destroy that because I don't really care too much. Right, attacks. I mean, a bit of life regen is better than nothing. Nothing else on there even affects us, so we're going to try to change those rings as quickly as we can. We also get a skill improvement. We just don't have the gear for it right now. You guys probably do. Out of these, the one that's most useful in my opinion, for me, is the lesser poison support. But you guys are free to experiment and do whatever you want with it. Obviously, best of all stock to us. He's going to send us off. And Tokyo should as well. He's going to give us a few quests. So if at this point you have an orb of, I want to say augmentation. You should see like a template of it right here. Go right here, look. This is where it will go. If you have this tab, because I paid for this tab, but that should just give you kind of a shaded thing of what it looks like. But effectively, you get an orb of augmentation and then sell it to an NPC with a plain set of shoes. I wonder if she sells one.
Goodbye.
We don't have to sell any currency. Let's have a look. Is it augmentation? Oh. Let me check. Oh no, orb of... It's augmentation. Yeah, orb of augmentation. Okay, so if you happen to have a few of these, grab this orb of augmentation. And then if you sell it back to an NPC with a standard set of shoes and a quicksilver flask, you'll actually gain permanent 10% movement. So, something that might be worth doing, particularly if you've picked up all of the gear and stuff and just been selling it. But, yeah, it's not bad. So, that is probably a good place to end this. We'll use our point on here, look. So now, minions deal 10% more damage, zombies are better, that's good. And in the next episode, we'll be moving over to what is called the Mud Flats. I may actually do 2 zones in one. There's an optional side quest. It's not required at all. But again, I just feel like it's a good idea for people to be doing it. So that's going to end this episode. Hopefully you guys will clear the entire map. I am going to obviously create a quick video on where to start the new current league, which we've just seen the seeds for. So hopefully you guys will join me for that in the next episode, and I'll see you all then.